The desire for a mate is so compelling, it brings out our most remarkable qualities. We'll do anything to prove our worthiness. We bully, fight, charm and display anything to woo the object of our desire. When two partners meet, it could be an encounter that lasts a moment, or an alliance that lasts a lifetime. The union marks the end of a courtship that may have been uncertain and stressful, as well as promising and exciting. But it's all a part of the drama in the search to find a mate. In many Western societies, this union is celebrated with a wedding, a social ritual that tells everyone these two have made a lifelong pledge to each other. If they have children, they will both help raise them. These are the guidelines for this sex contract. When two partners are faithful to one another, it's a mating system known as monogamy. But monogamy is not the only mating system in the world, for humans or animals. But finding a mate is not always so straightforward, especially when a male and female have different priorities when it comes to sex. A female olive baboon. She can only raise a few young in her lifetime, and with each one of them she makes an enormous investment. Having a male around could be useful. But males have a different agenda. They can sire as many young as they want without much investment on their part. So instead of sticking by one female, males try to mate with as many as possible. If a male wants to mate, he has to woo the female, and that's where he invests a lot of his time, in courtship. Grooming is good for hygiene, but it's also a sensual activity which bonds the couple. In fact, the male stays close to the female, even when she's not in estrus. He needs to win her affection and trust. He even grooms her baby. It may not be his, but he'll groom it anyway to show what a gentle, protective, and overall splendid baboon he is, in the hope that she'll let him sire her next offspring. The male has finished grooming the baby and waits to see if the female grooms him, a sign of acceptance and friendship. The male is a very patient Romeo, engaging in a long, elaborate courtship with the goal of one day consummating their affair. The female wants him around, And when she can't offer sex, she grooms him even more often, encouraging him to stay. This male baboon looks clumsy and incompetent. Poor father material. Actually, he's using a sly technique to win over the female. He'll hassle the baby until it cries in distress. Then he'll scoop the youngster up and comfort it, showing what a good guardian he really is. Choosy females have forced males to compete for them, and male competition contains some of the most gripping and astonishing behavior in the animal kingdom. Among giraffes, it's a ritualized fighting called necking. It's not a true fight, but what's called a display. A display allows the males to establish dominance through strength without drawing blood. These are crucial confrontations because the winner may mate with all the females in the group, and the loser with none at all. Australian red-bellied black snakes do their best to get the upper hand in the mating game. This, too, is a display. These male snakes aren't trying to strangle each other or inflict injuries. They could easily give each other serious bites. Instead, they resolve their differences this way and respect the rules of the game. A fall in the water calls for a timeout. The wrestling match continues until one snake forces the other's head to the ground. As soon as he does that, he's won. Beneath the calm waters of the Mediterranean, another battle is in the making. Mediterranean cuttlefish have a unique way of mating, but males have to fight their way through a whole gamut of other males to get to the female. This male has found a female, and he's hovering over her, hoping for a chance to mate. But this big rival has designs on her too. And now the new champion courts her. He's pressured to mate before another male wins her over. Cuttlefish mate in an odd position, head to head. While holding her, he reaches into his body with a specially designed tentacle and pulls out a sperm packet. He gently lifts her mantle and inserts his sperm. Finally, he releases her from his many-armed embrace. Sometimes the competition to mate and have young is so intense it ends in death. A burying beetle fusses over his newborn larvae. He's a good provider and has found a perfect home. This mouse, badly decomposed, is ideal for raising young. It's a nice chunk of territory and a nutritional food source. A female had laid her eggs in his mouse ball. Now the hatched larvae are gorging themselves. As the father watches over his domain, a stranger approaches. It's a heated battle over a precious commodity. Under the gaze of the female beetle, the intruder gains the advantage and defeats the resident male. He wins the female and the mouse. The father can only look on helplessly. The newcomer sets up house by getting rid of the tenants. He takes the larvae out and eats them one by one, saving the mouse ball for his own offspring. This particular battle for mating rights has taken many lives, but for the burying beetle, it's just one consequence of its mating system. Another consequence of a mating system may not be a death scene, but a mob scene, as in this night in Trinidad. The calls of male Philomedusa frogs have lured a female to the mating arena. She will mate only once this season, so it's a mad struggle to reach her first. Since males can mate repeatedly, there are always plenty of them around. In this pretzel of frogs, it's hard to know where one frog ends and another begins. In the Arizona desert, another female faces a mob. A virgin Ammophila wasp has just hatched and is digging her way into the world. Above her are swarms of male wasps, all on aerial patrol. They land and hug the ground, feeling for the vibrations of a surfacing female. The first thing a female Ammophila wasp sees upon entering the world is a male, and he's not alone. The first male must now grab her before the others do. As soon as she emerges, she becomes the center of a whirling mass of eager males. Like frogs, wasp males can mate many times, but a female wasp needs just one mating in her lifetime. The males are in a frenzy to be her first. It looks as though the female has no choice in this mating game, but the male competition also works to her benefit. The male that does reach her will be strong and vigorous, qualities desirable in her offspring. Of course, in a chaotic blur like this, luck must also play a role. Males don't only compete for females, but sometimes for the best real estate. Male blennies know females are attracted to the best egg-laying sites. A good home is hard to come by, so males fight over them. Once he's won the prime spot, he eagerly advertises for a mate. Lured by his signal, a female swims by and carefully inspects his property. It has to meet her strict specifications. She's satisfied, but backs into the wrong hole. Realizing her mistake, she corrects herself. She settles in and releases her eggs. He fertilizes them immediately. Another female is attracted to his nest site and waits her turn. The energetic male wastes no time in putting out the vacancy sign again. Males are always trying to outdo other males and get access to females. A true fight could cause serious injury for both males. There's another, safer way of showing who's boss. With a visual display. This mature male elk boasts a handsome rack of antlers, 5 feet across and weighing 30 pounds. Formidable and dagger sharp, his antlers visually intimidate most males, so often actual fights are avoided. On the forest floor of Trinidad, male Hercules beetles. one of the world's largest and heaviest insects. They can actually lift each other up with their massive extended jaws. They're fighting over the female, who's calmly feeding on a mango pit. There's another beetle interested in her too, but he's small and wouldn't have a chance fighting for her. The battle continues until one of the males is flipped onto his back. The smaller male seizes this opportunity to mate with the unguarded female. The winner of the battle is still concerned with driving off his rival. Only when he returns to claim his prize does he discover the sneaky male beetle. He drives this rival away, but it's too late. Although the rival was smaller and weaker, he had another unique attribute. This female is carrying his offspring, so his sneaky behavior gets passed on to the next generation. Sneaky business is even for the birds. Male ruffs gather on a lek, a mating ground, which attracts the attention of females. Once a female lands on the lek, the big dark males display energetically. The less adorned female moves across the lek, shopping for the best display. Fighting breaks out between rival dark males the moment she comes near, but a pale one is also close by. The female watches for a winner. The pale ruff watches both her and the fight. He tries to move closer, but is cut off by a dark male and is pecked into submission. The female walks by, unfazed by all this attention. When the pale-colored ruff tries to move again, he's attacked. He obediently cowers. But now a new male arrives to court the female. And a new fight breaks out. The pale ruff sees his chance and makes a quick move. He reaches her and mates. He's spotted too late by the dark male, who's done all his fighting for nothing. Although sneaky males do get lucky sometimes, it's the dominant males who score most of the time. But sneakiness is not just a male trait. Sometimes a female enjoys a secret rendezvous. In rhesus macaques, females stay in the group they're born into, but the males move out. This prevents inbreeding. However, when a male joins a new group, he starts at the bottom of the male hierarchy. Only the alpha male has easy access to females. All seems quiet below, but trouble may be brewing for the alpha male. When the female agrees, while the dominant male is engaged, a secret tryst is taking place below. Kept on the sidelines by the established males, this newcomer tries to look innocent. The dominant male is watching for precisely this sort of threat to his status, so their encounters must be brief, discreet, and conducted with great caution. Fortunately for the newcomers, females actually prefer to mate with them and will go to great lengths to meet in secret. A possible advantage is that they bring new genes to the group. So in the long run, sneaky behavior has paid off. Is the danger of being caught, and the alpha male would punish the female, not the male. Undeterred, they escape. Females often control a mating situation, but none more than the female praying mantis. A brown male approaches her with extreme caution. She's a ferocious predator, and mating with her is dangerous. But for a male praying mantis, he has no choice. Conflicting nerve centers. The one in his head tells him he's in danger, while the one in his abdomen propels him towards head, freeing him from his brain and his inhibitions. He's lost his head and abandons himself to sex. For Utah's Mormon crickets, the tables are turned. Usually the females set the guidelines for the sex contract, since they invest more in the next generation. But this time, the males do the choosing, and the females must measure up. Mormon crickets gather once a year to mate, and the chosen site swarms with suitors. The males call females to them. The female is easily identified by the long spike at the end of her abdomen, which she uses to lay eggs. When the female cricket arrives, he literally sweeps her off her feet. A romantic gesture, perhaps, but actually he's being practical. He's weighing her. The heavier she is, the more eggs she must be carrying. Unfortunately, this female fails the test, and he quickly abandons her. Wasting no time, he summons another. This female is loaded with eggs and passes the test. Now it becomes clear why the male gets to do the choosing. When they mate, the male attaches a sperm packet to the female. Attached to the outside of it is a huge food offering. This is her reward for tipping the scales. After mating, she waddles off. The food packet is extremely nutritious, and the female Mormon cricket eats it eagerly. After she finishes this, she'll start devouring the sperm. That's why he makes the biggest food offering he can, to give his sperm a head start to her eggs. It took a great deal of energy to make the sperm package, 1/4 of the male's body weight. The sperm package is so tempting, a nearby female cricket can't resist taking some for herself. In this case, the male's contribution to the next generation is much larger than the female's. She deposits the eggs in the ground and nothing more. He has provided sperm and all the food for the offspring. That's why he sets the rules for this sex contract. Is there ever a situation where two partners meet on equal terms, where one partner isn't always so choosy about the other? In the dewdrop world of the Pacific Northwest, two creatures slowly get acquainted. They're banana slugs, and when two meet, they're sure to find a strange romance. They cuddle up in a slimy embrace. These two aren't choosy because they're made for each other. As hermaphrodites, they're both male and female. These mournful sounds are the songs of the gibbon, which makes its home in Thailand. This is the song of a male gibbon. Gibbons are rare among primates because they're monogamous. This suits the female who relies on the male to protect the family and their scarce food resources. But female gibbons must constantly enforce their monogamous contract by keeping a watchful eye on their mates, who may stray if given the chance. Monogamy occurs in only 3% of mammals, but it's much more common among birds, like these grebes. One of the main reasons birds are monogamous is because their young make enormous demands on them, sitting on the eggs, fetching food, and keeping them safe from predators. These are duties both parents can share. Grebe chicks, like most birds, need long-term care before they can fend for themselves. It's in the best interest of parents to stick together for their young, who need them both to survive to adulthood. For southern fur seals, the sex contract is entirely different. The female's top priority is to find the safest beach to give birth and raise their pups. Males arrive first and stake out the best territories. Any female that lands in their territory automatically becomes part of a male's harem. Older and larger males must constantly fight to protect their territories from other males. This is a polygynous society where one dominant male has exclusive mating rights over many females. He's a strong protector, and she and her newborn pup are safe in his harem. The reigning male must enjoy his status while he can. The enormous stress of holding on to his territory could mean his death by the end of the breeding season. However, it's a risk he must take, or forfeit mating altogether, the fate of many male fur seals. Zebras are also polygynous. Stallions have harems of 5 to 6 mares and their offspring. Mares are very affectionate with each other, but there's a strict hierarchy among them, which they establish. Although stallions head the family, it's the mares who set the rules. This stallion greets each member of the family and waits to bring up the rear. The dominant mare leads the family to its feeding grounds. The mares in single file according to their rank, a friendly but very unusual arrangement. A female jacana, or lily trotter. These birds engage in one of the rarest sex contracts in the world. It's called polyandry, which means that one female has a harem of males, a surprising role reversal. This little male is being henpecked by his much larger mate. She keeps him in line. The female jealously guards her males and her territory from other females. They can make as many nests as they want. All they need are good nest sitters. So female jacanas are always on a manhunt. The male dutifully incubates his clutch of eggs. While he's at his post, she goes off to make more nests and find more males. She usually has 4 or 5 males nesting. Their bizarre system evolved because of their stressful environment. Flash floods and numerous predators take a high toll on jacana eggs. Females respond by laying as many eggs as possible and recruiting male help. It's not unusual to see cheetah males living together in groups. These 3 cheetahs are brothers and will probably stick together for life. What's unusual is how they respond when a female wanders into their territory. Intrigued, they go together to investigate. 1 female and 3 males, a perfect recipe for a fur-ripping fight should the males compete for her. She's coming into heat, which is why they're so interested. What's surprising is that they aren't fighting over her. Instead, they're willing to share her. Brother fighting brother would be pointless, since they would pass on nearly identical genes. But this isn't the only reason for their good-naturedness. They need each other. A solitary male could never hold a territory. Without a territory, a cheetah male would never have a chance to mate. By staying together, these brothers can defend their land and have access to all the females who stray into it. Sharing a female is much better than getting no females at all. Termites have taken this cooperation one step further. They are all brothers and sisters. Instead of producing their own offspring, they cooperate by helping their parents to rear more offspring. Here she is, the sole mother, the queen. This wriggling balloon is actually her abdomen, whereas in the front, she looks like a regular termite. She's a prolific egg producer, capable of laying over 30,000 eggs a day, which her offspring stockpile. Termites give up sex, and instead of looking for mates, they're looking after newborns, their brothers and sisters. It's a strange sex contract in that one individual reproduces for all of them, and yet it's a system that works for the good of the colony. The savage display of male aggression we've just seen is one of the consequences of a mating system where one male gets all the girls. It's one of many mating systems animals employ in their quest to start the next generation. Where do we humans fit in? A look around the world will show us that our sexual contracts are as flexible and varied as those of other creatures. There are also human societies where one male arrangement also benefits the women. They can share the workload and the wealth among them. But in some rare instances where the land is poor, a man may not be able to support a wife. In this case, several men share a single wife. This 15-year-old girl in the Western Himalayas is marrying one man, but in doing so, she's also marrying all his brothers. As with animals, polyandry is extremely rare in humans. It happens when the environment is unproductive and the brothers must pool all their resources to support just one wife and their children. Should one of the brothers get rich, he could provide for another wife, in addition to the one he's already sharing with his brothers. Finding a mate is not easy. Why do we make such an effort to win someone over? Why do any two individuals decide to form a long-lasting relationship? Science would be hard-pressed to explain it, but we do have a word for it: love. Next time on The Nature of Sex, a sexual come-on depends on what you find sexy. Looks aren't everything. But red lips, a strong, healthy body with muscles in the right places, and we get carried away. But bonobo chimps could show us a thing or two. Sex and the Human Animal, next time on The Nature of Sex.